Joyce just posted this. Obviously, the old hag doesn't have comprehension skills. I don't know how much clearer I have to be. I believe that Thomas Schoenberger and Craig Sawyer got Isaac Cappy in that military base that I thought was 20 minutes away from that bridge, but Geo Farnsworth corrected me and told me it was only 2 minutes away from that base, or from that bridge. And I believe that they tortured him to death to find out what he knew about that homeless encampment that had shackles for children nailed to the trees. It was a place where major child trafficking was going on. I believe that Corey Daniel and Daniel Doud were the ones who drove Isaac Cappy's dead body to the bridge and put him on that bridge. That's the reason why he had sunglasses on, and he was motionless. I think everything that was set up, I've never heard of a suicide having a deluxe 2 CD set that goes with the suicide. Never heard of anything like that. But I will say, I believe that Daniel Doud and Geo Farnsworth came into my town and took out my best friend, who perished at the same time they said they were in town. They sent me email, Pootie Twang, aka Daniel Doud, sent me email after email after email with pictures of my house and places in town, roads that were not on Google Maps. You know, sent me all this stuff, and now that I'm calling them out, and the reason why the old hag is having a fit is because once they start looking at Pootie Twang, aka Daniel Dowd's emails, it's going to lead to her and Geo Farnsworth and Corey Daniel. And chances are, since they've gone out of their way to say how they wanted to take away my disability, they're the group that have done a myriad of attempts at identity theft regarding my disability account at Social Security. And I bet it's all in their emails. I believe that I never accused them of murdering Isaac Cappy. Never once. I've always said that it was Thomas Schoenberger. And you know, you think that Tara Joyce would jump on that because she supposedly hates Thomas Schoenberger. They're enemies. But notice how they never tell anybody that I am on the record, like I am now, saying that Thomas Schoenberger and Craig Sawyer tortured Isaac Cappy at that military base to find out everything he knew and everyone he told about that homeless encampment in Arizona that had child trafficking in it. I accused Tara Joyce and Daniel Doud and Geo Farnsworth about trying to steal my identity, trying to do all kinds of stuff to me. And I accused Daniel Doud and Geo Farnsworth of murdering my best friend. Those are the things, just so we're on the record. They probably won't get it in their head, and I never fat shamed Tara Joyce. I'm fat, so why would I accuse someone else of being fat? I accuse her of being a hag. See the resemblance? Here, let me show another one. Complete with her hair. See the resemblance? I'll show one more. See the resemblance? That's why I call her an old hag. The proof is in the pudding.
Tara Joyce reached out to me at the very beginning on TikTok while she was busy running around telling everybody that I was a pedophile because she's an ugly old hag who spent her entire career on her back or her knees. Either one brings up disgusting images. But she's an old hag. So I hope that this clarifies things for her so that she understands exactly what I'm accusing each one of them of. Any questions?
Yeah, I've got some questions, David. Yep. I don't know what's worse, Denise or David. Maybe I'll flip a coin for it. Let's get to it. If you don't know about Anon at this point, I don't know what to say, but this particular account has been, I'll just give a brief overview. The Anon account has been harassing me since January 18th. 17th, all right? There were two different types of internet channels that were using similar graphics. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and, because I've got it pretty much set up on my community guideline, my community page. All right. There was two accounts at the same time that had come into my chat, as well as were basically they looked like it was they were created by the same people. One of them was called random.internettroll. And the other one was Anon. Now the random.internettroll kind of fell away. But the Anon goes and comes. The Anon account, I think what happens is they put themselves incognito. We're going to get back to that in just a second. And then they reappear again. So I'm scrolling down to this part here, because the reason why this is how Anon, this picture right here that people have probably seen, whomever's been following this and is in this pocket of YouTube, that particular picture was, I think, originally created by QAnon Sec. QAnon Sec involves Titus Frost and Chris McGimsey Jones. And they put it up. Drugs of YouTube 2 used this this picture. I didn't put green on my face. All right. There was last year in the fall, I took a picture of myself, a selfie on my regular social media. I might have shared it also on YouTube. And I said, it's a hat day. All right. That hat's kind of cool. You can flip it inside and outside. So you can make it look all, crimson colored, or, you could do the black top, and then the red, the maroon band. Okay. So, I took a picture, and immediately they had done this, and they wanted to put it out on X. I mean, they all kind of, they're all Thomas. All right. They're all part of the Thomas posse. QAnon Sec is a knockoff of the 17th letter of the alphabet. Organized. There's also a guy involved named Stefano Patronalo. Let's get back to him, because the original OG Mitch R X account originally had a tofflermusic@gmail.com PayPal account for it. So I had pointed that out way early in the year. Maybe it might have even been like, I don't know. I think it was all this year. Yeah. Everything's happening so fast. I think in terms of like semesters. So like when this was happening with the hat and the green face, that was during this fall. Now this screenshot is actually taken from Becky Dean. Becky Dean has used the picture now to harass me with it, which what I'm pointing out in this post is that it makes her just aligned with everybody else. See? Notice how Becky Dean uses the same thumbnail as Anon and random.internettroll. Rancid at YouTubers 2 needs to realize that this picture originated with QAnon Sec, and it has also been used by dregs of YouTube too, OG Mitch R. It's not a coincidence that Becky Dean is using the same graphics to harass me with on her channel as the others have. Not a smart move on her part, as this has now become a serious harassment and stalking case. And that's right, David, it has. All right. And I'm going to get to it. David did know of Anon, because the day before he blocked me on TikTok, right after I sent him the voodoo doll video that Anon had to David personally, and letting him know what level that group was harassing me. The same group that I was saying was setting him up. I sent him the Anon video, the voodoo doll video. And I thought, wow, maybe he'll understand this, because he talks about, how, knowing what, the Satanists do and the occult and all this kind of stuff. Maybe he would have a little bit of sympathy in realizing that Denise, the person that he used on his show, he cooperated with against me, that maybe he would understand what was actually really happening to me. He was full unaware that they were saying wig and this and that. He even asked me, wow, why are they obsessed with your hair? But the very next day, I sent him that Anon video. And the very next day that I sent him that voodoo video to him, he blocked me. He called me a satanic pedo protector, and he started talking about my wig. End of story. He went right along with everybody else. He made his choice. He is full and aware. He is not a victim. It is not accidental. And damn it, David, this account is not Daniel Doud, is not Pootie Twang. And I'm not going to sit here and let you tell people what bring that into your phony ass bullshit, David. And I'm going to show just exactly how well you took care of it last night. Because from what I can tell, you fed right into it. You used Anon just like bait. You phony liar. So let me show you the variations of how this has worked. This is Becky Dean. This is Anon at that time. See? Same thumbnail. And I showed Becky's video yesterday. But this is a screenshot from Becky. There it is. There's Anon. There's the voodoo doll, David. Remember that video that I sent you? No? I certainly do remember sending it to you, David Shurter. Okay. Let's go one more. This is the other Anon, the more recent one. This one with the fire came out after David said he was going to light me on fire, which was kind of weirdly synchronistic. And yeah. Okay, so now let's go back and look at what Anon looked like yesterday. And you know what's interesting about this here? This Anon is that it's using the same graphic, this same face right here, that Lisa Lake used to harass me with. Ain't that interesting? That came out first on Lisa Lake's channel, like literally a day before. And then now Anon's using the same graphic. See? Anybody care about this, or are you just looking at me like you're enjoying it? Which is it? Do people really care about me? You care about me? Or no, you're just looking at like I'm like in a fishbowl where I got a bunch of sick people waiting for me to fall. Is that it? Which is it, viewers? Let me know. Huh? Anybody care about this? Anybody care whether people are safe on YouTube, or you're just a bunch of sick people enjoying it, secretly eating Cheetos or something? So I gotta wake and bake for this shit. So who else is calling me a hag? Becky Dean is. Becky Dean's calling me fat and a hag. Who else is calling me a hag besides David Shurter? Oh, Thomas Schoenberger. See, David just repeats other people's abuse. Like, his abuse of me isn't even original. It's ritual defamation. He is part of it. He is part of it. Get it? Not me. Here we go. Doxing, right? Kind of like Fresno State. That's where I go to college. Can you address Terry's grooming and trafficking minors at Fresno State? First of all, minors don't go to Fresno State, people. Normally, by the time you get to college, you're 18. All right. I'm not going to high school. So stop acting like that's what's happening here. I'm not grooming anybody. I'm getting a fucking degree. And working for a living. And improving my life. What's David Shurter doing? Sitting there harassing me with stalkers on his channel. That's what David Shurter does. David, there's a lot of people with PTSD, but some of us actually go to therapy and get better and go to work for a living instead of living off the government dime. And I'm just so curious how David has a freaking house when he's on disability. How'd you afford that, David? This? Is it this kind of money? Terry lives in an apartment. Yeah, I'm doing the right thing. I'm not a sellout. I don't abuse people on the internet for money. Oh, I know you all want to say that that's what I'm doing. How often do I even ask for donations? You act like this is my source of income. It's not. Matter of fact, it's not at all. Do you think I enjoy doing this in the morning? Like this is my routine? Like this is my channel? No. I'm addressing in a situation that's actually really happening to me, and I see no other way of doing it. David acts like nobody can say anything about him. He's actually monitoring my videos. He's actually monitoring my community posts. And even when I make a post about somebody else, but it actually falls into the thought of his involvement in it, he's got to get all over that shit. Because that's just what happened now. That's why he's going off on me. That's why he's calling me a hag. Because he's sitting there watching me talk about this. Anon, and some other stuff going on. And yes, he does relate to it. Yes, he does, David, because the text messages that are coming to me are in your area code in Harlan, Iowa. And you know what your response was when I asked you about it? I never had that old hack's phone number. Just like Thomas Schoenberger. Saying the same thing as Thomas Schoenberger. Why is that, David? Why is it that every day you wake up and you have Thomas Schoenberger's emails behind you as your material to abuse me and other people with? Because you're in on that team. That's why you're the person who's doing it. And then you sit around and go, they're with Thomas Schoenberger. They're with Thomas Schoenberger. No, we're not, David. I'm not doing ritual defamation on you with them. I'm defending myself against you. There was a major stalker who worked with Denise, who called my school, that's been doxing me and harassing me and sexually harassing me and spooking on me for, I don't know, 4 or 5 months now. I'm getting text calls. I'm getting texts during my live stream. People calling my cell phone during my live stream. And they're your area code. Now, you can deny that all you want and go, oh, well, I have nothing to do with that. They're just, trying to make it look like me. Yeah, maybe so. But you know what? The appropriate thing to say would be something like that. Like, hey, maybe we're having similar things happening to us. Maybe we can figure this out. That would have been the considerate thing to do. But no, you call me an old hag. And you know what? That's not a good look for you, David. See, real people that have real perpetrators on the internet have compassion for other people that have perpetrators on the internet. But you don't. You double down and you go with them. You go with my perpetrators. You don't have no consideration for maybe something similar might be happening to me. But why should I expect you to have any empathy or decency in this situation when you don't even show any empathy for you molesting your nephews? That's what I think. Total lack of regard for anything that you've done that you've harmed other people with. It's all everybody else's fault. Not yours. How dare you accuse me of anything and with harming children when I'm completely innocent, where you, on record, have already done it? I don't give a shit if you were 13 years old. You've done it. You don't like when I have to say tough shit, mister. No, this right here, David, this isn't a good look for you. And let's just, let's go with what his reply this morning, and then we're going to go and find that spot when Anon comes to his chat and see if he did exactly what he's professing to say on his channel. Oh, nobody wants to say anything in my chat? You just want to sit back and just stare? I think my biggest fans are my perpetrators. Aren't you? You got to tune in and clip everything you can so you can run on your channels and talk whatever you want, your bullshit. Oh, Terry Joyce is an on and on. No, I'm not, Lisa Lake. But you look like it using the same graphic. So it's in a short. You notice how David's always like pointing like the camera stops with his finger pointing up in the air.
I think this was a setup. This Anon person has never been in.
First of all, it's Anon, not Anon. Just let me correct you, David. And you've already been sent a video of this person. Okay.
My chat before. They showed up. I called them out saying that they were bothering Tara Joyce. But this was.
No, you did not. I bet you didn't, because we're going to go back and check that.
It was all a setup deal. And also, let me point out, like, I am omniscient. I don't have the ability to control strangers that I don't even know.
Yeah, but you don't have to go in with the narrative. You don't have to bash me along with them, David.
Obviously, anonymous strangers that I don't even know.
No, you were sent a video of this, David. You were sent the voodoo doll video. So maybe you don't recognize the name, but you have been aware of this happening to me, David Shurter. And then you shut me down and you went with them. That's what happened, David.
They were trying to connect me with Tara Joyce's stalkers.
You know what? You're already connected to them, David Shurter. Maybe they were trying to connect you, but you are part of my stalkers. You are part of the abusers that I've been dealing with all year. With them. Doing it with them. David. With Denise. With Anon and On now. With Thomas Schellenberger. You are participating in it. You're participating in it.
I am not involved with doing anything.
You're big time involved, David Shurter. What motivated you to just after I sent you I told you how I was being harassed by a voodoo doll, I thought it was maybe Denise or something like that, and then you block me? What would motivate you to just block me and then all of a sudden tell me that I'm too old to be wearing the wig that I'm wearing? What motivated, what was it that caused you to do that? Oh, you're going to say because I was telling people that you were a pedo. I wasn't. Show a receipt where I was telling people that you were a pedophile then. I'm not even sure if you're a pedo now, but you've already acted out when you were a tween. So, you might be. If anybody's a pedo in the room, I would say it might be the person that did it to their nephews. I mean, that's logical, David. It might be the person that's trying to pass themselves off as some sort of SRA victim and writes a book about how he's a victim, but the whole time he's actually really a pedo. That's classic perpetrator shit. That's what I think. I don't have anything. I've never done that to anybody at any time ever in my life, whether I was a teenager, a tween, or a full-on adult or a freaking senior citizen. And you've been flagrantly doing this shit for 5 months now. Just after I send you an Anon video, David. And there's no correlation to that? there is.
To Tara Joyce, other than calling her shit out.
What shit? What shit have I done? What shit am I involved with? All I've been is like, I'm a person who has a YouTube channel that wants to do some interesting content, not about you. I go to college. I'm a stand-up comedian. I'm an amazing student right now. I tutor for a living. What have I done to you in the past 5 months? I haven't done shit, David, other than defend myself and call it out, dispute what you're saying. Oh, but that's not allowed because that's considered attacking you.
Anon, most likely, is Daniel Doud, who's also Pootie Twang, who was in her chat.
How fucking dare you trivialize the seriousness of what's going on with me into your fucking stupid narrative, David? That's what really pisses me off here. You're trivializing it and making it all about you, like the whole thing's just made up. Like I'm faking it, David. That's what really pisses me off about what you said this morning. You full on know what this account did to me. You're full on, I think you're full on a part of all of this. No, it's not okay. None of this is okay. And I'm not going to sit here and act like it is. Maybe I should contact your sheriff department and show him this. And go, you know what? I think David is part of, targeting and stalking and harassing me. I mean, damn, the phone calls are coming from your area code. Matter of fact, I've already let Neil Gross know about that the first time it happened. Anybody, you want to give money to this guy? Knock yourself out. But this is what you're giving money for. He's not who he says he is. You know what? Because that's where he can be sued, right? So you're just basically giving him money for because you're giving him donations for this is what you're giving him donations for. You're giving him donations for this. If I were you, David, I would really back off of me and I would clean your act up because what's going on here has gone into law enforcement. What's going on here is getting on a criminal level. And you are associated to it now. And you know what? I'm sure if any emails are going to be investigated, there's a whole lot of them between you and Thomas Schoenberger, aren't there? Wonder what your trail is with these people and your emails being investigated. Who are you connected to? Huh? I am tired of this shit. I'm just really tired of it. I just wanted to stop. I just wanted to stop. So let's go to his live stream yesterday. I'm going to have to skim it and find the spot. Hi, Zero with Infinity. You're listening to this at work? Sorry. I don't see this as being super calming. People say a lot of crazy things about me. Do I feel ya? Thank you. It's just the hard part is that it's public, right? So, like the ugliness and the things that he's saying about me are on his YouTube channel or on his TikTok channel. So, it's like, it's not like, somebody came up and, they, I walked down the street and a stranger said, you screw for a living, right? What is that? No, it's there, and it's there, and it stays there. It's not like a fleeting moment of abuse. It's something that's up in the in the internet ethos. It's in the cloud. So anyway, here's his stream. I think it happened around here. Let me see. You find out where. I wouldn't be super. Oh, it might not even be there because they're gone. I don't know. Because the Anon account left. I wonder if his transcripts are ready. I'm going to let some of it play.
He said was happening in those not, if not every, I don't know, doing it for 2 hours. I think it would be cool, I just never thought about doing any of this before. I do have an email. It's dlshurter@gmail.com. So, yeah. I know a lot about, obviously, I know a lot about Franklin. It's hard for me to go through and end up dealing with it because spiritually, again, today I got out of it because heaven was just, I took a bath and I pray and focus on God when I take baths. That's why
this is the part that really just grosses me out, because I think anybody that is in tune to God and a follower of Jesus, or in any type of spirituality, where it's about not harming others. It's do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It's not bearing false witness. It's like he and then for him to say that he is with God when he actually practices witchcraft. I mean, I've got videos on I've got them like on private, but I think we've all seen him say, like, how many times have we witnessed about how he is gonna, like, what he's gonna do to us in the with his Michael Aquino powers. I've got little shorts of that. I mean, I should just show it. So for him to sit here and say that I'm going to pray to God now is just actually absolutely, like, I almost want to vomit, to be honest with you.
And that's when I was told, was shown that I have an amazing strength. I have an amazing strength. And it's, again, not blowing my own horn. It's just pointing it out after looking at everything that I have done. If it was someone else's life, I would tell them how amazing they were. And so in a way, I actually, and as I see it, with the way all of these idiots are acting, I am on the verge of busting this shit open. And after I've busted this shit open, I was able to do
What shit are you busting open, David? Especially when it comes to me. Like what shit do you think you're busting? Like, why don't you just take me out of your fucking story? Can you do that? Can you write me out of the script? What do you think, David?
what Fiona did in Australia, in America, because I've always envied her that. She was able to break it apart and expose it. And I always envied her that because I never felt like that would happen for me. And yet, I think that's the whole reason why back 8 months ago, I was told to start talking about Isaac Cappy and open up comments on my blog because I learned so much.
Actually, I think it happened more towards the end, but I'm going through the transcripts just to find it.
Doing that, you know, because I love to learn. I love to learn new stuff. That's the reason why.
Really? What are you learning, David? Did you decide to go back to college and learn some shit? Change your life? Yeah? What you learning about?
I really do appreciate being in a room where I am the dumbest person and watching people speak.
But you think you're not the dumbest person, though, is what I think. I think you, even when you say that, like even saying that I love to be in a room where I'm the dumbest person is pretty much saying that you think that you're pretty smart. That most rooms are you're going to be smarter than. So like when you finally get to meet somebody smarter than you, you're really grateful for it. So that's how it reads to me. This little syrupy, how grandiose he is.
And listening to what they have to say and listening to intelligent people, you know, that we do have self-esteem.
Really, what intelligent people are you listening to right now? Huh? I mean, who's surrounding you at the moment? Like, where are these intelligent people? Are you part of the book club? You hang out with the science fiction club, the science club, huh? Like mathematicians? You know, some engineers? Anybody that works at NASA? How many family members that were professors at MIT, David? I bet they weren't.
Integrity, because you have to have it as victims. If you don't achieve it yourself, then you get lost because you have to find your self-esteem and integrity. Otherwise, you just stay in a cycle.
I mean, the fact that he thinks that he can, like, you know, abuse people on his shorts and his other videos, and then, you know, do his live streams and think that he's in a position to give people advice and wisdom. You know, it's really like insane to me. It's like repulsive, even. Like, if you're gonna like be a certain way and give advice to people, you need to live it, embody it, and then think that maybe, you know, you're not, God didn't call upon you to tell people like how to be. It's not your skill set. It's like, what is this, like motivational speaker for SRA victims? Is that the hat you think you're gonna sit your ass down in now and pray and say how you pray and how God has been supporting you, blah 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 blah? Bunch of bullshit, David. You know, they say in the end times you're gonna see false prophets. You're gonna see, you know, what is in the Bible? They will look like me, but not be me. There's a lot of false prophet, you know, a guru, you know, new age philosophy, syrupy all over this, you know, this part of the internet, starting with the truth media, starting with the UFO stuff. So David Wilcock, you know, they all imbue themselves as having special abilities. They're closer to God than everybody else. And, you know, they can leave all these flowery things for people and then give their version of what the truth and reality is, and God and spirituality is. And then they can be super soldiers, and then they can be super soldiers that are Christians. It's just a big racket.
And that's easy to do. There are still a lot of walking wounded still around. In fact, there's more walking wounded than there are people who are able to be the same shit connected to the Catholic Church.
I'm cutting it up a little bit.
Wow. The Catholic Church isn't known for fucking pedophilia. Exactly what it is with Isaac Cappy. They're all, both sides, or all sides, because it's not just one side, it's all these sides. They're all working in tandem with each other because it's to create chaos. So you get distracted with the chaos, and then you get...
Yeah, what chaos have you been creating, David? I say this is chaos. Who's really good at chaos on the internet? Oh, that would be Thomas Schoenberger. Even the Daily Beast said that. You're associated to people that do create chaos on the internet. So, you know, it's such a roundabout for him to, say, oh, this chaos that's around me, this chaos taking me off the point of what I'm saying. What is your point, David? Because it changes every day. The age you were when you molested your nephews changes. All of a sudden, no, I wasn't accusing them of being responsible for Isaac Cappy's death. It's really about Owen. No, what I really was accusing Terry Joyce of is like taking my disability away from me and my Social Security. Like I know, David. No, I don't. I have a life. I have been at college. I do work. No, I wasn't spending my time trying to figure out how to, to do identity theft on your Social Security. When I've never even done, you're accusing me of identity theft. No, he look, he doesn't have to have receipts. He doesn't have to have anything. He just has to open his mouth and say it. And he thinks that just because he says it, and he says it angry or forceful or points his fingers around or whatever, and repeats it over and over again, that's going to one day make it true. And don't forget to give me some PayPal donations. Here's my Venmo. I need $250. I need $200 for this. I need this. I need that. Well, I heard you had a whole laundry list last night. It's not that I don't have a problem. Look, I don't have a problem. I think it's normal to get super chats or, to have your channel monetized, or, you put a PayPal out there, or you have a GoFundMe to help you in the summer, during, between college, to help you with your college. Big deal. That's honest. But when you sit here and you grift and you put down people and you make up lies and conspiracies about people and you call them hags and whatever and say that they're, making a living by being prostitutes and that they're involved with harming children so that you can get that donation, then that makes it a little bit different, doesn't it? When you're harming people with malicious intent, with forethought, and in organization with a 2-time convicted felon who already has been doing it. Because yes, David, you are the person who still talks to Thomas Schoenberger, not me. I have the man blocked. But you have an open door for his emails to come find you.
Bored with the chaos, and then you go walk off. That was the whole reason why it was so easy for me to do what I did with Isaac Cappy and the case with Isaac Cappy, because I've seen it over and over and over. It was pretty easy for me to actually look at it and know who was involved, because the people who were intricately involved always attack first. They always attack, and they're relentless with their attacks. Relentless.
I didn't attack you first, David. You attacked me first. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. So you just said what you are.
It's the same playbook, you know, it's the same playbook I watched over and over and over and over. And so
No, it's the same playbook you play, David. It's your playbook. While you drink your glass of wine, thinking you're some sort of, I don't know, intellectual.
I don't know what to tell people. It's, you know, that's the way it's always been. And what they don't like for me is that I'm able to shine a spotlight on it. Because what I realize with most of you...
You know what, David? I'm able to shine a spotlight on shit too. And the spotlight's on you today. Still going through here. Here we go.
And false memory bullshit, which was given to us by the False Memory Syndrome Foundation, which was all CIA, which was all Michael Aquino. And so if you started talking about this,
oh, here it is. Found it.
You would watch.
Here we go.
The wall to see what.
Here we go. Here's where it starts to happen.
They say the dumbest shit, and it's like they throw shit on the wall to see what will stick. That's what I end up dealing. That's what I've dealt with all of them. You know, for the first time ever, I'm glad that I actually listened to Tara Joyce's thing today, because I think for the first time ever, I actually got the real Tara Joyce, because she's so fake. And that sing-songy voice and those clothes and all of that, that is not who she is. It is so...
Yeah, it is who I am. But I also can kick some fucking ass, David. Like, people aren't one way. Yeah, I am. My clothes, what's wrong with my clothes now? Here we go.
Put on. And, you know, I did get a nice silk shirt on. I even ironed it, you know, but I ain't gonna, you know, the lies that we tell ourselves are, and lies about the most inane things. That's
there's more here though.
What I find, you know, and you can call them out, especially with this group. You can call them out on something, but what the game is that once you call them out on it, they suddenly stop talking about that and they focus on something else. So you never get.
No, that's what you do, David. Because like, what has it gone from? We were part of the Dead Isaac Cappy Club, and I was a big pedo protector. Now I'm also part of a CA ring, and I'm a big pedo child trafficker. And no, but wait, I wasn't talking about you guys being responsible for Isaac Cappy's death. Now it's really about Owen's death. They came in, they're using directed energy weapons. They're coming into my house. They're out in front of my yard. They're in on it with my sheriff. Oh, they're stealing my Social Security. They hacked my Venmo, right? I mean, it's so much, David. So much.
Right. And their arguments are circular. You can go round and 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 never go.
You know what? It is circular because we're arguing with your circular arguments. All right. I try to not talk about you. I try not to tag you. I try not to I go, maybe if I just stop talking about him, he's going to leave me alone. And he doesn't. So I don't know what to do now. Really. Do I have to actually sue him? Is that even, possible? I think it might be. Ignore him. Just go, people come up to you and go, there's this guy and he's screaming and yelling at a camera and he's calling you a hag and a pedo and everything like that. Who is that guy? I'm like, okay, yeah, that's David Shurter. Just ignore him. He's the clown in the box. He's the what was that thing? Jack-o'-lantern. He's the jack that pops out of the box.
Anywhere, because it's just a circular argument. And that's, oh, thank you. I had a nice shirt on tonight. Goodwill. I love Goodwill.
I think actually that he's a drinker. I even think sometimes that I'm wondering, and like there's times where I've looked at his videos and he's going off in the morning and he just seems like he might be slightly altered. Like intoxicated. I'm sorry. I was hearing like a weird. I feel like it's weird. I thought my shower was going or dripping, and it shouldn't be. Something seems off. Great. I hope I'm not going to have some sort of weird water flood. All right, let's finish this up.
And a lot of people don't like silk. And during the summer, I like silk because I don't really sweat. And, well, if I'm out in the sun, I will. But the chaos is evil. Because what ends up happening is most people who have gone through or would go through what I'm going through and what I have gone through with these people, but what I'm especially going through now, I don't think a lot of people would handle it as well as I have been trying to handle it. It hasn't been throwing me over the edge. It
handle what, David? Handle what? I mean, in this situation, I mean, with me, what are you handling? Being exposed. Let's see. Craig Sawyer. I don't really want that word on there. Rocket ships. I'm still looking for the Anonanon thing. Because he said he addressed it. And I'm just not even seeing anything happening here. Okay, here we go here.
The devil is alive and well in Erlin, Iowa. It was the worst place I'd ever lived. God protected me in a way, but it wasn't, I think that was the worst thing about, what is it about my little girl that they're focused on? Because in Erlin, someone came in and kicked the shit out of her to where she had two great big poops and a dark ass, and I had to prepare the food. She was so afraid that she'd run back upstairs, or if the door wasn't open, she'd run back upstairs. She was terrified.
So I don't see
12. I think my publisher told me in the end it was $14,000.
anything.
The donation that I was given today was able to pay for the domain, which was key, because if
So he's getting donations for this shit. It's gross to me. Just gross. So what's this? Here we go. Now he's talking about me again. Read that book. The whole night they didn't get any sleep. Here we go. What's this?
Beginning to end again. And so Terry Joyce, I don't know when she started her she's the gatekeeper for Max Spears.
Oh, wow. That is not true, David. That is not true.
That's why they attacked me so hard. That's why
oh my God. Wow. I'm glad I found this.
Attacks me so hard. You know. Well, Q and QAnon is all Michael Aquino. That was how it started, you know. All of this stuff started to come out and they had to quelch it. And instead of being able to quelch it, they gave us Pizzagate because they thought Pizzagate was so stupid that people would just blindly look away.
I don't really want this on my channel. Okay, it's this. It's this.
The reason why I sound so angry in both that and the Hummel Park one is because I was fighting these assholes on franklinfiles.net because it was all the Johnny Gosh, Noreen Gosh, Paul Bonacci, all of that. Yes. Did you get one? Because I sent you one last night when I saw it. I did send you a got it email. So hopefully you got it.
See. I'm just going through.
Did I put out there Neil Gross?
I'm seeing
Meth
where he
heads are
like
bad.
did he even address it on and
Don't
on.
for a moment think that it's because of the meth heads around me. Don't think that at all. What I am saying.
Here we go.
What Terry Joyce's live thing today, he was telling people that I give my book out to the neighbors like I'm famous. And it is true. I have offered my book to people if they want to read it. And if you know me and you're in person, I rarely have charged my friends for the book. I just, give it out. I give it out on the blog in the extended version. So I give out my books and he's telling people, oh, he thinks he's famous. And I was just like, no, but it's difficult to live on $1,000, even though I will say that someone covered $250 and thank you so much. I just have to come up with $250 more. This blog is expensive. It then have to come up with $250. Used to get hack attempts. Now it's just constant every day. I think my publisher told me in the end it was $14,000 to publish Rabbit Hole. I assure you, my sales has not come up. I didn't get rich on the book, let me tell you. And so
how'd you buy your house, David? I'm just curious. How'd you buy a house 3 times? I mean, you're on disability. Like, where's the money coming from? Huh? I'm just curious.
Making money off of this, doesn't that seem like blood money to you?
Yeah, it does. It does seem like blood money. That you're using my own words. You're making money off of like doing what you're doing to me and Daniel and Gio and a bunch of other people. Yeah, you're making money off of it. Damn right. I'm not sitting here getting $250 donations, like because I'm doing shit about you, lying about you, David. I'm actually showing receipts about what you're doing. I'm calling you out. You're a phony. You're a big fat phony. And you've been abusing me and lying about me on the internet. Now, this is between me and you. No Daniel Doud. No Pootie. No Thomas Schoenberger. You've done this to me. I'm not, I don't even, you know, I sympathize with these guys. I don't mind. I prefer hanging out in Daniel Doud's chat than yours. I feel welcome there. But this is between you and I. See, David wants to make everything like, oh, this gang, this group, that group. That's what all of them do. That's what AV is, you know, Aaron B. Cox is doing. That's what Brenda Becker does. That's what, you know, Denise was doing. That's what, you know, whose group are you in? And if you even, like, people are probably afraid to come. I was upset. Like, you guys all just looking at me. You don't even really care about me. People are afraid to come into my chat. Because people like David Shurter comes and takes screenshots and then makes narratives about them and flashes their name out to everybody. They actually bully people away out of people's chats because they don't want the drama. No, I hope you're watching, David Shurter. I don't see you taking care of anything about anything in any anon person in your account. Looks to me that you didn't even know it was there. But you certainly took a lot of opportunity to throw me at my name out during your live stream and say shit about me. So there was no defending. There was no taking care of anything. So let's go back to what your response was this morning. Let's go back. And if anybody sees any other footage, I don't see where he even, I mean, he said some not so great things about me last night, but, you know, I don't see really where he was like, I mean, maybe he was seeing something in the chat that reminded him to start talking about me again, but I don't see any really real interaction between Anon and David Shurter. So let's just go here. Did anybody see that? I'm going to go look one more time, but I don't see him saying anything like that anywhere in his stream that I just looked at right now. He didn't do it. That's my point. It took a long ways to get there, but that's the point. Hi, Mike. Thanks for being here. It's all at the end. Anon asked if he thought you were involved with kids at school, and he says he believes so because the barely legal company thing. It's at the end. Okay, we'll like at what timestamp do you think that's at, Mike? I'm going to go back. Okay, we'll just let it. Okay. Okay. I see what you said. Go to the last few minutes. Let's go. Let's go about here. Okay. Wait. Here we go. Let's go to about right here. Okay.
You know, and so because they're just dumbasses. It was only a matter of time before someone would come along and see shackles on the trees that were for little kids and think something was fucked up about it, you know? Whatever. They're just not, they're not going to build any rocket ships to the moon, let me tell you. Anyway, Father, I come to you and thank you for today and the guidance that you gave me. I didn't really want to put a sign out in my yard, but I always do what you guide me to do.
Yeah, Mike, that's what he said. He said that he was that he said that he called them out. That I just played that, yeah, in his video. So I'm gonna go like about right here.
And when you open yourself up, when we open ourselves up to you and we trust
Do you think it's after this part?
the things that you are telling us, even though
Is he praying right now? I guess so.
they're usually things we don't want to do, I just appreciate the, you know, rewarded faith, I guess, because now I understand. And
That he's praying? Okay. Sorry.
I just want to thank you. I was sad today, and I really do apologize for cursing the ever living hell out of you yesterday, because I just apologize, and I'm so grateful that you are very understanding and compassionate and loving, and most of all, forgiving. But I just guide all of us. There's an army of us here, and we're all being drawn together in order to support each other, because what's coming is going to be rough. And we all have an obligation to basically do what you need us to do to help get as many people through this intact.
Oh my God. I'll get through it, but I'm just having trouble even watching this bullshit.
With their faith in the word as we can. And
I mean, really, I think biblically, this is like significant right here. I really think so. Like if you want to know whether or not I think we're living in the end times, I'd be going, yeah, I do, by looking at David Shurter right now.
Supporting each other, you know, when each other are down, or we feel that one of us is going down a path that we don't understand, calling it out and asking for clarification, because it will make each one of us have to think clearly why we are deciding to choose to do the things that we are doing, to make sure that
And I read the Book of Enoch, right? It was one of my assignments. I mentioned it. I did a little video on it because I did a research paper on it in my Africana Studies class. And there's this part where it talks about sheep and the Lord's sheep, and then this evolution, or this this symbolism of how there would be the top dog sheep that would be basically the pharaoh, or the religious person, or whatever it was, the leader, and then sometimes the leader was corrupt, and it was kind of like, it was like a parable of like what was really happening in Syria and Palestine and and Israel back then. It was just like a metaphor for it. And for some reason, I thought of like David being like, he's the Lord of his own sheep, right? He thinks he's the master, like obviously, even he's not humble. I don't see him praying humbly to God. It's very self-grandiose. It's a very self-grandiose prayer, in my opinion.
that we are not just doing them on impulse, or worse, robotically, just without thinking. That's the key thing. They want robots and brainless.
You know what really bothers me is really long prayers. It's like, get to the point. Okay. It's like, do it in 240 characters, I mean, like, do it like a an ex post. I mean, maybe longer than an ex post, but you know what I'm saying? It's like sometimes it's like, get on with it. All right. It's like, I remember when I was a little girl and, we'd be at church and it just seemed like the pastor would just go on and on and on and on and on. And the prayer was like 20 minutes. And I used to I would be next to my mom. I was like 9 or 8. And I'd be going, oh, like I'd be hanging against her head. Like, when is it going to get over? It's like, what, how long do you have to close your eyes? Just, I think God appreciates us too. He's a busy person. All right. If he is a person, but I mean, like, God is all omnipotent, but it's like, he's got more things than David Shurter praying like this, going on and on and on and on about whatever. It's just oh my God, I'm sorry. Oh,
mindless robots, and just help us get a sense of perception and know what we're being called to do. And we say these things lovingly in your son's name, Jesus Christ. Amen. You can tell I'm exhausted.
Ew.
I always got a bad feeling about Dizdar too, especially because he was working with Sawyer. When I say that they took him out, it does not mean that he was a good guy and that's why they take him out, because this site eats their own. He could have pissed someone off, or,
Take another drink, David, after you do your prayer. I'm sorry. Wait. Yeah, I'm not at the last few minutes. Okay, I'm sorry, Mike. Thanks for sending me in the right direction. I'm just.
God only knows. But this group is not as big as everyone. May heaven guide us, use us, keep us in his will to stand together to the end. Amen. Amen. That is, amen. The small shackles was bonkers. It was to the point where it was so intense. And I was having to deal with living in Erlin. So, and Erlin was,
so there's 11 more minutes left.
Supposedly, its claim to fame is the place where the last sanctioned exorcism occurred. And I'm telling you, whatever they did, the devil is alive and well in Erlin, Iowa. It was the worst place I'd ever lived. God protected me in a way, but it wasn't, I think that was the worst thing about, what is it about my little girl that they're focused on? Because in Erlin, someone came in and kicked the shit out of her to where she had 2 great big poops and a dark ass pee, like she was bleeding internally. And it took me 2 months to get her to be able to come downstairs on her own. I lived in this big, huge funeral home, and I'd have to walk upstairs and pick her up and carry her downstairs to go outside or to eat. But if I didn't have that food prepared and I had to prepare the food, she was so afraid that she'd run back upstairs. Or if the door wasn't open, she'd run back upstairs. She was terrified. It took me 2 months. They know to get to me is to get to my dogs. But it is not wise to get to me. It is not wise to get to me. They think they're all being clever, and I'm telling them, it's not wise. If Tara Joyce is being harassed, or if it's just she was pretty mad today. So maybe there is some, because they all have enemies. They all hate each other, and they all have to work with each other. It's bizarre, but your chief of police, Derek Yamada, at the time in my living room having an hour-and-a-half conversation. And then I have his deputy coming over just a few days later, after I hung up all my security cameras, wanting to know where all of my security cameras were focused. And then the very individual that I bitched about right after that shows up at my front door. And sorry, I kind of shaved, but gave me their phone number 4 times. And what it was they wanted me to call them so that they could say I was harassing them. Because this whole harassment bullshit, to be quite honest, I don't know if Tara Joyce is being harassed or if it's just she was pretty mad today. So maybe there is some, because they all have enemies. They all hate each other and they all have to work with each other. It's
I don't work with these people, David. I don't know where you get that. Wow, man, I'm at the freaking back. Why can't I find this? Oh, there it is. I found it. It's somewhere around here. Oh my God. I just saw it flash. So let's let it play.
Absolution of desolation.
Here we go.
And I don't know if she's grooming or trafficking minors at Fresno State at all. I don't know what's involved with it. And I'm not involved. Anon. You guys are all in this weird.
There we go. Bingo.
Ass fight. See, the thing about what I do, the key thing that I've done.
Go back
is
again.
that I have a whole
Go
bunch
back.
of police and
there. Go back.
And they did all of it. You know, they did that absolution of desolation ritual, and I don't know if she's grooming or trafficking minors at Fresno State at all. I don't know what's involved with it. And I'm not involved. Anon. You guys are all in this weird ass fight. See, the thing about the key.
So he's aware of it. You all are involved in this weird ass fight. So he's aware of it. He knows it's not Daniel Doud and Pootie Twang. He knows that. He's aware of it. Did you hear that?
Thing that I've done is that I have a whole bunch of police and investigators and shit that people will research all this, that I just send all of this to. That's what I do. And so I'm not fucking Nancy Drew. I'm not going to spend my days doing research and finding out shit and doing all that stuff. I end up doing videos to point people to start asking the questions. That's all I'm doing, is asking the questions and showing what I know and the concerns that I have. And I think she is involved with child trafficking because she's involved with that barely legal group. And the way she has responded to me, and today, she was having a meltdown. And I don't believe half of it because she's been so deceptive with me. You know, she's been so deceptive. But I have a feeling, sit tight. They're investigating this whole thing. That I have pushed the envelope way too hard. And it only took one of them with all of their emails, and they were all sending me emails the time that Owen died. And now with that Shadow Dragon program, they're going to figure out where all those emails came from. And they're going to start, people are looking into that. This group knows people are looking into it. And on the home front, you know, Michael Doud as Pootie Twang probably shouldn't have posted that shit on her chat room that he did, because I was able to take that and make an issue out of it with people in town that probably had not been involved before, but will be involved because they don't want the town to lose a lot of money. And if I take all this shit to court, I guarantee I'll win. You know,
No, you're
I'm
not.
not kidding.
I guarantee you're not going to win, David. I guarantee you're not.
You guys just don't have any idea what I have on video, you know, because they all thought they were so smart. That's the whole thing. They thought they were so smart. And when I tell you that it was like,
no, you think you're smarter than you really are, David. That's unfortunate for you.
dealing with the Keystone Cops, I am not kidding you. You know, I'm not kidding. It was like Keystone Cop kind of situations, to the point where I couldn't believe it was actually happening. And they are focused on that. They're going to figure out the whole reason why Terry Joyce is flipping out, because they tried to commit identity theft on my social security account.
What?
And
Oh my God! Like, can you not hear the little like lie in it? Like this is so outlandish.
Again, I just don't get it.
Lenny thinks it's fucking funny. You think it's funny, don't you, David? It's not. Liar.
How can you be so dumb?
How
You
can
know,
you be
how
so
could you
dumb?
be so dumb? Like,
How
that's
can you be so dumb? That's the question. And you know what? You got way too much headspace above here. You need to bring that camera down.
not illegal. And if I push the issue, like, they're not going to take that issue up. They had already taken the issue up. You know, it's all going to be on emails. They're just so damn dumb.
What emails? I never emailed anything to you. I don't have any emails with Gio or Pootie or Daniel Doud. Nobody. Okay. But what about your emails? What about your emails with Thomas Schoenberger? I hope they investigate that. That would be interesting, David.
And God only knows what, as they get investigated, God only knows all the shit they're involved.
No, nobody's being investigated, David. I've even called your sheriff and they said nobody's being investigated. All right. That's, I mean, they know what you're doing. They can't do anything about it because they call it free speech.
God only knows, and I don't want to know. I just want to be investigated. That's all I've ever cared about. That's all I've ever cared about.
You know what, David? You're sitting here and you did not defend me with Anon. You did not handle the situation. You knew exactly what it is and you doubled down on it last night. So, no, you are involved. I did, like I said in this video earlier, I did send you Anon's video of the voodoo doll, and that's when you went off on me. You're full on aware of this shit. And you're lying this morning in your video. Let's just play it again.
For it to be investigated. And now it is being investigated.
Okay, so let's go ahead and play you one more time this morning how you didn't do what you say in your video. I just have to, I'm going to drive it home one more time because, I'm a bitch like that. And trust me, David, I'm going to be editing a shorter video with this that'll be really concise and really back to back that will dispute what you're doing. Not this long video right here. Okay? So I'm going to expose your shit, David, right now.
I think this was a setup. This Anon person has never been in my chat before. They showed up. I called them out saying that they were bothering Tara Joyce, but this was all a setup deal. And also, let me point out, like, I am omniscient. I don't have the ability to control strangers that I don't even know. Obviously, anonymous strangers that I don't even know. They were trying to connect me with Tara Joyce's stalkers. I am not involved with doing any.
That is my stalker, David. That is my stalker. Okay? That is them. And, you know, they have, I believe that group has also been texting me with 712 area code numbers that are the same as yours. So yeah, you are involved with this. And that's why you got triggered yesterday. Because in my community post, I pointed that out. You full on know what this is, David. I want to read. When you went off of me yesterday calling me a hag and stuff like that, it's because of what I said about what's going on with this. No, you are implicated in it, David. You are involved.
Anything to Tara Joyce other than calling her shit out. Anon, most likely, is Daniel Doud, who's also Pootie Twang, who was in her chat.
No, it's not. It's not. It certainly isn't. And you were sent a video. I sent you that anon video the night before you shut me down and called me a pedo protector. You full on know what this is, David. You full on know. I'm not, no, nobody, I'm going to call you out on this today. No, you full on know. And then you went in and you harassed me with Denise's stuff, and Denise has been working with that anon account, David. Now you full on know what the fuck's going on. What am I doing over here? Oh, yeah. See, I'll show you what got David all excited. It's this. This is what he had in his screenshot that he was all upset about going off on me over. Here's what it says. Let me be really specific with you, Andrea. That is the person that I think actually was texting me that night with a 712 area code, by the way, everybody. You clipped a video from my Rumble channel and framed it by referencing Denise Mattel and Anon. You made the receipt about what really happened to Isaac Cappy as clickbait. The reason why I talked about Cappy was because David Shurter has been falsely accusing Corey Daniel Doud, Gio, and myself of murdering Isaac Cappy. He also calls us Nazi satanic pedophiles. I was playing a 911 call, which proved what really happened. It was not clickbait, as the video's title wasn't even about Isaac Cappy. I included it in my stream at the last minute as I talked with Gio beforehand. My stream was really about Hoaxwords Daniel, who uploaded a video that frames little white children better than black children. This is what you have in your graphic, David. On your video, I think, when you're calling me a hag. Yeah. That Anon's already referenced here, David. Here? Anon did the doxing and harassment alongside Denise Mattel. QAnon Sec also participated. QAnonsec.com involves Titus Frost and Chris McGimsey Jones. Here's all this Anon shit. That's what got you going, David, wasn't it? You full on fucking know. You full on fucking know, David Shurter. Let's go back. Hold on. I know it's in his graphic. Wait. Where's the hag one? I can't. Example. These are shorts. Maybe it's. Oh, yeah, it's not a short. It's a regular. There it is. Same message. Same thing on my community post. Anon is mentioned in it. David, you fucking full on know. Okay? Because you're using it in the graphic behind you. You know exactly what's going on. Wait, let me show this. Did I show it? Got my freaking. There it is. Here it is in this video.
Joyce just posted this.
That's my community post.
Obviously, the old hag doesn't have comprehension skills. I don't know how much clearer I have to be. I believe that Thomas Schoenberger and Craig Sawyer
And he didn't know Anon or anything about it. That's why he went off on me yesterday. That's why he went off on me. Hold on. I'm going to make sure that I show. I don't know. Was I sharing my screen? I'm getting all it's tripping me out. It's tripping me out. Oh, you know what, David, what you've done and how you've been doing it is just absolutely foul. Just foul. And you're sitting there praying to God about it. I don't even know. It's really evil. It's very evil, in my opinion. It's very deceptive. Almost like a snake. Okay, wait. There it is. Same community post, David. Right in your screenshot. All about Anon right here. All about Anon. All about it. You know exactly what's going on, David Shurter. You know exactly what's happening. Don't be lying on your channel. Don't be making shit up that it's Daniel Doud or it's freaking Pootie Twang. It's fucking you. You're part of it, David. I'm calling your shit out right now, today. Cease and desist. We've got some serious problems here. This is more serious than you think it is. You're part of it, David. The sheriff should tell his neighbors about him. He thinks he uses microwave weapons on him. His neighbors should know about him. I would never live next to someone like him with my kids. David said he doesn't like kids, but he wants to be an advocate. Why won't he donate to organizations if he really cares? Why is his money, what was his money for a blog instead of donating to the kids? Turn this guy off. That's right. Craig can maybe win another defamation with malice lawsuit. Maybe he can. Okay, anyway, I'm going to say goodbye. My voice is kind of giving out for some reason. Maybe because I've been screaming. And I'm going to... It's like, I know this was long and maybe it wasn't a tight live stream, but I gained knowledge right here while it was happening. So I'm thankful for that. And thank you for being here with me. Thank you, Mikey Mike, for, research, being, like knowing where that timestamp was and everything. I appreciate it. call you Mikey Mike.
Save my soul. Went up downtown. Went up downtown. Went up downtown. I want to save my soul. Went up downtown. I went up downtown. Went up downtown. I save my soul. I save my soul. I save my soul. I save my soul. Save my soul. Oh, child, save my soul. Save my soul. Save my soul. Save my soul. Oh, child, save my soul. Save my soul. Save my soul. Save my soul. Oh, child, save my soul. 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 Went up downtown. I went up downtown. Went up downtown. I was walking out one evening late. Moon was rising high, headed for the riverside around this fuss and fight.